Hey everyone, it's your boy WH, aka Crypto Mike Tyson in this bitch, and today we're gonna be talking about Bitcoin on the weekly, daily, and the 4-hour chart. So let me switch to the chart. First, on the weekly, what do we see? What is obvious? We had this resistance line of this rising channel or rising wedge, whatever you call it, and we closed the last weekly candle well above it decisively. And that's usually an indication, or can be an indication, that we're gonna go up further. But before we do that, we're probably gonna do some retesting, go down and go up again. That being said, it's a rising channel. If it breaks down, then the chances are very high that we go down and touch this point, right? But if it breaks up, then it's not that convincing, because it's a rising structure, rising channel. Even if it breaks up to the upside, it's not always that convincing. But let's just go with it. So that's the weekly chart. The daily chart. On the daily chart, we see that we just touched our W target. So this could be a nice W. This would be the neckline of this double bottom W, and the target of it would be this motherfucker. So we already arrived at the target. So it's a further indication that we're probably gonna go down a little bit. Oh, sorry. Like this, since we reached the target. So, and we did go down already a little bit. So we have this W. Okay, we're aware of it. Now, what else do we see on the daily? On the daily, we see that we are bouncing back and forth in this once again rising open wedge, and it's even more interesting on the 4-hour chart. So on the 4-hour chart, it's very clear we have this rising channel, rising open wedge, and that's usually a somewhat bearish structure, because all rising structures tend to break down, right? So what can we expect if we look at the 4-hour chart? Is there some divergence? Okay, we had some bearish divergence here, right? And it already played out, went down. Okay, what else? Can we see some bullish divergence? Maybe you could argue that this looks bullish, because if we compare the lows on the RSI and the lows on the price chart, might be argued that that's a bullish divergence. Okay, but doesn't look too convincing to me. What I think is more interesting is just the mere fact that we're inside this open wedge. And so what's gonna happen, and how can we trade this? We can trade it if we break out of it decisively, close a 4-hour candle above this rising wedge, or then we can open a long. Or if we break down, if we close a 4-hour candle below this support line, the lower line of this rising wedge, then we can open a short, and the short would probably go down till this area of support. It's the previous W neckline. So another way to trade this motherfucker would be to open a long as soon as we approach the lower part of this rising wedge, or opening a short once we reach the upper part of this rising wedge. For example, right here, this would be such a possibility, would have been if you traded it. For example, once we approach this upper resistance line, then we see a 4-hour close down. That's an indication for us that we're probably not gonna go and break out. So at this point we could have opened a short, and the target would be somewhere in this area where we have this 100 EMA, the red line, and we also have this lower support line of this rising wedge. And in the same manner we could open a long once we approach this lower part of this rising wedge. Now at this moment we are almost in the middle of this rising channel, so would I trade it? No, because I rather open a long once we reach this channel and kind of bounce up, ricochet. For example, we close a 4-hour candle somewhere inside this channel, or I would also open a short if we approach this this region, and if we close a 4-hour candle which goes down, just like here, right? But at this moment of time, yeah, you could open a long because we are in the lower part of this, but doesn't seem too convincing for me. So yeah, what now? What do we do now? We do nothing, we just wait. So you decide how you trade it. You can trade it on the breakout if we close a 4-hour candle somewhere here, or if we close a 4-hour candle somewhere below this support line. Or what I prefer, you open a long if we approach this area and then have another candle going up and close like this, indicating that we're probably not gonna go break down. Or open a short when we approach this region and close a candle which goes down, for example, like this, indicating that we're not gonna break out. This way you have a higher bang for your buck. Yeah, because if you trade it on the breakout, let's say for example it breaks up here, then you open a long. Where would you set your stop loss? Well, maybe here or lower, right? You don't use all that power which you could have if we went from here to here, right? So yeah, right now I'm doing nothing. You could go to the 1-hour chart and fuck around here, but I don't like it because it's too stressful. So if you would want to trade it on the 1 hour, let's try to draw something here. This would be a clear line, this would be a clear line. We would see that we are somewhat in a channel, and if we break above this channel and close an 1-hour candle here, yeah, you might open a long maybe, but I don't like those small trades. I much rather open on the 4-hour chart or on the daily. So that's it. That's my view for today for Bitcoin. Let's look at Cardano. Cardano on the daily, we had this falling structure, kind of a triangle, and we broke out of it right here, and we retested it, and now we might go up even more, but that probably depends on what Bitcoin is going to do, because if Bitcoin goes down again if Bitcoin breaks down of this rising wedge, let me switch to the 4 hour. If Bitcoin breaks down here, then it's probably gonna go even lower, and if it goes lower and lower, then all the altcoins will probably shit in the pants and then go down as well. So I wouldn't necessarily trade Cardano right now. And if we look at Cardano on the 4 hourly, we might argue that there's a double top or an M structure, which if it breaks down, then it's probably gonna go down even more. So I would just wait first. But if you want to short term trade it, yeah, you could make a case that you could go long right now, because we are at the support area. So it might be the beginning of a double bottom. So if you would want to short term trade it, yeah, now would be the time. Now would be the time, and the stop loss would be somewhere here. Might be a little bit risky, but if you want to do it, might go up like this, or it might go up like this, then go down again, and you could take 12% or like 10% with you. Actually, that's an interesting idea. Let me think if I'm gonna do it. Okay, let me take a look at Bitcoin again. Yeah, you could do it. You could do it. And if it looks too risky for you right now, you could wait for a bullish candle, something like this 4 hour candle, which closes, for example, here at this point. Then you might trade it. Yeah, I don't see a perfect indication for a long. It's somewhat good. I would say like 70% chance that it's gonna go up, and 30% chance that it will continue down. So if that's enough for you, you could trade it and put the stop loss here. If not, then not. But yeah, let's jump back to the Bitcoin. My gut feeling for Bitcoin right now is that it's gonna break out downwards out of this rising opening wedge. That's quite often the case with those rising wedges. But I would ideally want to see Bitcoin go up here, for example, up to this area, then close a candle downwards again. Then I would probably open a short. Then the short would go down here, and if it breaks, I would add to my short. Yeah, but right now I'm just waiting until the price reaches here so I can open a short, like I said, or if it breaks down here, so you can open a short. That's it. Thanks a lot for watching.